welcome back. Today we are talking about our pentatonic scales. We're going to take a look at our major pentatonic scale and we're going to take a look at our minor pentatonic scale. A pentatonic scale is a 5-note scale, penta meaning 5. We're going to start with our regular major and minor scale that we've talked about in previous lessons, and we're going to see how we can chip away at those scales to leave us with a 5-note pentatonic scale. Oftentimes people first learn their pentatonic scales and then they learn their full 7-note major or minor scales. I find doing the inverse is usually the most productive. It's usually, I find, most productive for people to learn their full major and full minor scales and then be able to take away notes from those scales and leave them with their pentatonic scales. Pentatonic scales creep up all over the world in many different types of music. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our major scale. Let's play C major. Keep it simple, okay? So here's C major. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's what we're starting with. We're going to look within this major scale and we're going to find the 2 notes that make what's called a tritone, the interval of a tritone. In previous lessons, we've taken our major scale and we've also taken our minor scale, and we have looked through the different intervals that we can extract from those scales. So we've looked through our major scale and we've seen how we can build whole steps, half steps, how we can build fourths, fifths, major sixes, minor sixes in the case of our minor scale, etc. Right? All of these different intervals. Well, within both our major and our minor scale is an interval called a tritone. A tritone is our most tense sounding interval. It's the worst, air quotes, sounding interval that we have in music. Okay, a tritone sounds like this. That's the sound of a tritone. A tritone is halfway between our 4th and our 5th. Okay, we can think of it as a sharp 4, we can think of it as a lowered 5th, a flat 5. That is the interval of a tritone. Now, there is a mathematical reason as to why tritones carry all of that tension that they do. We're going to say that for another video, and I think that would be something interesting to cover in another video. Today, we're just going to talk about how we can find the 2 notes that make up that tritone within our major and minor scale, and how we're going to take those 2 notes out. Okay, so within a major scale, that was 2 octaves. 2 of those notes make up a tritone if we play them together, and those 2 notes are fa and ti. So in this case, in C major, fa is going to be the note F, and ti is going to be the note B. So those 2 notes, fa and ti, make that tritone. F, B, F, B, F, B, fa, ti. Those are the 2 notes that we are going to take out to turn C major, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, into C major pentatonic. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Okay, so right there, that was our C major pentatonic scale. Let's play through one position here to learn that scale. We're going to start on the 8th fret of our low E string, and for this, our pentatonic scales are going to be nice 4-fret boxes, so I can just use my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger for these scales. I can give anything that's going to be played on the 7th fret to my 1st finger, anything played on the 8th fret to my 2nd finger, anything played on the 9th fret to my 3rd finger, and anything played on the 10th fret to my 4th finger, okay? So that's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to start with my 2nd finger on the 8th fret of low E, that's do. Now I'm going to play re with my pinky. Do, re. Now it's going to be 1st fret on the 7th fret of the A string. Mi, do, re, mi. We're going to skip fa, which would be here. So now we have sol, our pinky. Sol, do, re, mi, sol. And now it's going to look the same on the next string. It's going to be 1st fret, or it's going to be 1st finger on the 7th fret of the D. And now pinky on the 10th fret of the D. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. So that's our 1st first octave, if we keep going, right? There's Do, we're gonna keep on moving. That's gonna be Re, first finger, so 7th fret of the G. Mi is gonna be 3rd finger, the 9th fret of the G. And then we have 2nd finger, 8th fret of the B. Pinky, which is gonna be 10th fret of the B. And then we get back to Do with our 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the high E. So that's 2 octaves right there. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Okay, so that is our C major pentatonic scale. So a pentatonic scale is or a major pentatonic scale is a major scale, do, re, mi, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Don't know what I was doing there. And we're taking away the 2 notes that make that tritone, which are going to be Fa and Ti. So now we're left with Do, Re, Mi, Sol, La, back to Do. So we went from a 7-note scale, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, to a 5-note scale, Do, Re, Mi, Sol, La. Now we're going to look at our minor pentatonic scale. And what we're going to do now is we are going to play our relative minor of C. So we know, again, from previous lessons, that C major and A minor are what's called relative major and relative minor, right? C major is the exact same 7 notes as A minor. So we're going to play A minor pentatonic now, okay? In C major, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. And in A minor, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Same exact 7 notes, just starting on a different note of the same cycle, right? So we can imagine if we were playing this on a piano, C major would be all the white keys starting on C, and if we were playing A minor, that would be all the white keys starting on A. Same thing. A way, kind of shortcut that we can do to figure that out, we can either count up, if we're in a major key, to our 6th note, La, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, which in this case would be A, or if we want another way to do that, we can just go down a minor 3rd. Gets us to the same note. Gets us to A, okay? And if we were in a minor key and wanted to figure out the major correlation of that, right, our relative major, we would just go up to Me, right? We'd go up to the 3rd note, Do, re, mi, or we could just go up minor 3rd. Gets us to C. Same thing. So now we are in A minor. Here's our regular old A minor scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, that is A minor. What we're going to do now is we're going to do the same exact process. We're going to find the 2 notes within our minor scale now that build up a tritone. We're going to take those 2 notes out, and we're going to be left with our remaining 5 notes, okay? So in a minor scale, Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The 2 notes, if you notice, that make up a tritone, the tritone visually on the guitar just looks like a half step where the 2nd note is up a string. So this is what a tritone looks like, right? Wherever I move that on the guitar, that's going to stay a tritone, right? With the exception of our G and our B, where we know our intervals always look a little different there because they're tuned differently. That's always going to look like, this is what a tritone's always going to look like. All right. So we're going to start on A. The 2 notes that make that tritone in A minor are going to be our 2nd note, Re, in this case B, and our minor 6, Le, which in this case is F. Re, le, re, le, re, le. Those are the 2 notes that make a tritone in a minor scale. Our 2nd, Re, and our minor 6, Le. So we're going to take those 2 notes out. And what that leaves us with now is Do, Me, because we've skipped Re, Do, Me, Fa, Sol, Te, because we've skipped Le, back to Do. Do, Me, Fa, Sol, Te, Do. Instead of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Te, Do. So that now gives us our minor pentatonic scale. So let's do the same thing. We're going to look at a couple octaves. Because it's a 4-fret pattern, I'm just going to use everything that's played on the 5th fret with my first finger, everything on the 6th fret with my second finger, everything on the 7th fret with my third finger, and everything on the 8th fret, in this case, with my pinky finger, my 4th finger. So it's going to look like this. First finger, 4th finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger. That's our first octave. Now we're going to do, starting here again, we're going to go onto the G string, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 4th finger, first finger. Okay, that would be 2 octaves. Do, me, fa, sol, te, do. Do, me, fa, sol, te, do. All right. So in this case, it's the exact same process. We've located the 2 notes that make that tritone, that make that really tense sounding interval. We've taken those out, and now we're left with a 5-note scale. If you noticed, although the notes that we subtracted were functioning in different ways in our major scale and in our minor scale. In our major scale, that was fa and ti, and in our minor scale, that was re and le. If you notice, it was actually the same 2 notes in this instance. In a major scale, we took out fa and ti, which was F and B. And in a minor scale, we took out re and le, which was B and F, right? Same 2 notes. So what that means is our major scale and our minor scale, relative major and relative minor, are not only the same 7 notes, but our major pentatonic and our relative minor pentatonic are also the same 5 notes. So C major pentatonic and A minor pentatonic are the exact same 5 notes, okay? Here's the 5 notes that make up, here are the 5 notes that make up C major pentatonic. C, D, E, G, A, back to C. And here are the 5 notes that make up A minor pentatonic. A, C, D, E, G, back to A. So we have done the same process. Our pentatonic scales are really, really useful. There's all kinds of things that we can do with them. This is just one position of both. We can look more deeply at all of the different positions that we have on our fretboard. But that's the theory that gets us to build our minor and major pentatonic scales. Again, oftentimes people learn their pentatonic scales first and then add notes to build their regular major and regular minor scales. I find doing the reverse is usually more productive. I find it's usually better for people to learn their full major and full minor scales, and then to be able to understand what we're doing with our pentatonic scales, which is we're just taking notes away, right? We've taken 2 notes from our major scale to make major pentatonic, and we've taken 2 notes from our minor scale to make our minor pentatonic. We've taken the 2 notes that make a tritone. In a major scale, it happens to be fa and ti. So every time we play a major pentatonic scale, we're doing the same thing. We're subtracting fa and ti. And in a minor scale, same thing, only those 2 notes that make the tritone are going to be re and le. So anytime we play a minor pentatonic scale, where we're just playing a minor scale, subtracting re and le. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.